Welcome to the James Bond Show. Welcome your host, Krazy KGB. Hey guys, thank you very much. Welcome to the James Bond Show again. Well, I'm your host, Krazy KGB, with no fears, limits, or substitutes. Okay guys, so what have I got for you today? I have got the video you've all been waiting for, and I know you're more excited than a big fat black woman in Kentucky eating Kentucky Fried Chicken. Or she's in Alabama. Is that near Kentucky? Who cares? Anyway, I've never been to America, and I'm probably never going to go to that part of America anyway, because they think I'm a little white chicken drumstick and eat me anyway. Okay, guys, let's get crazy. Okay, so what am I doing here? I am doing my review, my breakdown of the new, I don't know if you could really call it a trailer, but it is Kerry Fuka, oh sorry, I nearly thought there, Kerry Fuka. It's Kerry Goji Fukunaga. I think he's related to a Goji berry or something like that. What were his parents eating when they named him that? I don't know, like I think his mum's Japanese, it might be some like weird Japanese fruit. Oh, I will call Goji Fukunaga. Okay, so Kerry Goji Fukunaga has done a video, put out, it's basically like a trailer, but it's got him talking, which is, you can tell it's completely methodically scripted out. And showing us some new images and a lot of the behind the scenes. So that's why it's called a BTS behind the scenes trailer. So let's get into this. Now, I have got all the dialogue for you, what he says. So we're going to go through it. Actually, I think I skipped a slight bit at the start because I wasn't sure if I was going to write it all out. But I wrote most of it out. Okay, so here we go. So this is the voice of Kerry Goji Fukunaga. Okay. The white dots on the screen. Boop, 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 boop. The adrenaline starts pumping. I'm in a crazy mood today. This is going to be a fun one. Okay, so the white dots are on the screen. The adrenaline starts pumping. So he's talking about right there, the white little dots come along and the gun barrel logo. And in that section in the video, basically Fukunaga is saying, you are getting a gun barrel, you little lucky James Bond fans. There's going to be none of this artistic bullshit by Mark Forster and Sam Mendes. We are going to get the famous James Bond gun barrel at the start of this film, absolutely. And I tell you what, I really like that about him. This guy is a fan. He is a fan of the films, and he said in other interviews that he was, actually I think it was in the launch in Jamaica, that he is a real James Bond fan. Now, what some of you out there might not know is Fukunaga. So you come to the James Bond Show for the real inside stuff, guys. And I promise I won't be talking about any cashmere tops or chukka boots. Anyway, so Fukunaga actually had his agent approach Eon a while back. And it was kind of around that period of when Sam Mendes got the gig, but Fukunaga even wanted to direct a Bond film back then. He wanted to direct Spectre, which would have been really interesting, especially if he had been on board as a writer. That would have been really interesting. So let's continue with this. Okay, for me as a writer and director, it was essential to... Excuse my eyes here, guys. I've got to read my own writing. Oh, sorry, I've got it. Okay, and I do not have my glasses. You don't want to feed me with glasses. Okay, for me as a writer-director, it was essential to rediscover Bond. Where is he? After 5 years of retirement, who has he become? He's sort of a wounded animal, struggling with his role as a 00. The world has changed. Now that, of course, reminds us of Larry Larry Lynch's line in the film. If you guys, anyone there new to the channel, of course, Larry Lynch is Nomi in the film. Shana Lynch. It's Larry. So Larry Lynch says, well, Larry Lynch doesn't say here because Larry Lynch ain't in here, but basically this is Larry Lynch's line in that film. The world's changed, Commander. Okay. Alright, so we go on here. So he's struggling with his role as a 00, though he's retired, so I don't even know why that's relevant because obviously he's no longer a 00. The rules of engagement aren't what they used to be. The rules of espionage darker in the era of the asymmetric warfare. Heavy stuff there, Goji. Those he considers to be family are at great risk. Now, at that point in the behind the scenes trailer, you see an image of Ray Fiennes as M, Rory Kinnear as Tanner, and Naomi Harris as Moneypenny, and you see them, and that's a side kind of wide angle shot which is taken from, I believe it was the Super Bowl TV spot or the Oscars one of those two, where M's like this, come on Bond, and no, he's not a villain, Calvin Dyson. Hi Calvin. How you doing, dude? So I'm going to come out and say this. I actually do like you, Calvin Dyson, and I like your show. I think you are entertaining. You are seriously like that mincy little brother I never had and never wanted to have. But anyway, I do like your videos. But Calvin said in one of his videos that he actually even titled it, I'm sorry Calvin, love your work buddy, but you were off on this one, like way off. You're going to have to smash an egg on your head next. You were more off than me with my Dua Lipa tip. Okay, anyway, so Calvin basically thought M was suddenly a villain because he's going, come on, Bond. He's going, come on, Bond, because he's actually in his office watching a monitor. And I believe the monitor he's watching is probably maybe a live feed that Safin is sending MI6, like some sort of torture scene or something like that. And that's why he's like, come on, Bond. And then in the side wide angle shot, you see Moneypenny like this and Tanner's kind of like that. So they're very stressed out. All right, let's move on, people, now that we've discovered that M is not a baddie. Okay, so those he considers to be family are at great risk. And now there's someone new out there. Now listen to this really carefully because I think there's a real clue here from Goji Fukunaga about Safin. Dr. No. And now there's someone new out there, more dangerous than anyone he's ever encountered. Listen to this bit. More dangerous than anyone he's ever encountered, and whoever they are. Da-da-da! Come on, now if that was your Safin, if he was Safin, and he's rolling around with that big Pinocchio nose lie, right? He would say Safin, but here he says, and whoever they are. Dr. No. Dr. No. Oh, I need some cough drops. Is smarter and stronger than Spectre. Woohoo! Okay, now my theory on that. Okay, who do I think Rami Malek is playing? Yeah, they'll give him some name Safin, but he's Dr. No. It's Dr. No's lair all over. He's got Dr. No type clothes on. Now, if you remember back in Dr. No, Joseph Wiseman's Dr. No said to Sean Connery's Bond, he basically said to him, he offered his services to the West, they didn't want my services, so I turned to Spectre. What I think they're going to do in this film is they're going to flip that, and they're going to do some kind of thing where Spectre didn't want his services, and he turned on them and became their enemy. Because he's definitely their enemy in the film. Remember, there's another TV spot where Blofeld says, he's talking to Bond, and he says, James, we share the same enemy. So they are definitely enemies, and I believe that this is going to be the current incarnation of Dr. No. And this was the first James Bond channel, put it out there, Far out. I think it was 11 months ago now, probably around 11 months ago when I first started up the channel. I said this dude is Dr. No, and I even revealed about the scarring and stuff on his face, didn't I? Who did that? Me. So I don't have to crack an egg over my head for that one. Okay, let's continue. From the moment he's called to action to the end of the film, it's a race. Not only to save the world, but their lives. So there he's talking about, we cut to footage there of Bond with Madeline at the train station, and he's really got a grip on her. Bit touchy in this feminist age, Bond. Don't get the feminazis after you. No Time to Die is a culmination of all that Bond has become, with all that he's seen, all the trauma, the loss. What is that mission? To be his most challenging and most difficult. And that was our target. We aim to do something extraordinary with this one. Now at this stage of the trailer, which I'm providing in the link below, guys, in the linky section. At this section you see basically these Range Rover things. What are they? The Defenders or whatever the heck they're called. The ones they're flogging. I'm in that new advert. I'm not paid $1, so I'm not getting that right. So, and you see motorbikes. Now, if you freeze frame the scene where the motorbikes are going across, it looks like a huge big paddock type thing or whatever, and there's rivers and whatnot, and you see the Range Rovers and the cars. Have a look. You see one motorbike get 20 feet off the freaking ground in the air. And what's actually filming it, you can see a wheel at the top of the frame. So that's obviously the airplane, the crew plane that they're filming it from. But you look down and look at the air one of the motorbike gets. It is cool. I reckon that could be a pretty cool scene. Now that's a stuff, some part of it filmed in Norway, but also filmed in Scotland, where the car flipped and all that. Goes psh, and the other car coming behind it, that was all filmed in Scotland. Okay, so we aim to do something extraordinary with this one. Every Bond film has that thing, the danger, but also the emotional punch. I don't remember too much emotional punches in Brosnan films, but anyway. Sorry, brother. Okay, everything that was left unsaid will finally be said. So I'm assuming there's probably going to be bits from Skyfall that weren't quite mentioned in Spectre or weren't explained. And I also believe the bulk of that is going to be about Madeline, who Madeline is, what happened with Blofeld when he was arrested. So I think that's what all that is containing to. This will be the final chapter for Daniel Craig. Okay, so that's it for Craigster. He's out of there after this one. So guys, what do I think overall of it? I thought it was good. I think I love the fact that Goji Berry gets this film, that he seems to get the film, he seems to be pushing Bond now. We've got badass DB5, like boom, 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 boom. Okay, we got crazy ass DB5 action, and that is cool. We definitely get the Bond theme back in here. Johnny Marr ain't coming in, hanging out with Hans Zimmer, to do no boring Newman score here. Those Newman scores were terrible. So Johnny Marr's going to kick some ass with Hans Zimmer. I think there's going to be a lot of action, a lot of belting action. There's going to be a lot of drama and stuff as well. But I'm loving the set designs as well. The set designs look really cool. Found it interesting too. On freeze frame close-ups I did of Rami Malek, he looks, in certain shots, he looks younger. He just looks young. Younger compared to, as I mentioned in another video, than when he's even in the snow with that mask. So I think that's kind of interesting. He's definitely into genome type thing. Now, one of my subscribers, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name off the top of my head because it's written down somewhere, but asked me, let me know in the comments below if it was you person, said, do you think they're going to do, I think his name was Dave Jarvis, Dave something like that. do you think they'll ever do a Garden of Death scene in a James Bond film? I think that was his question, and I was supposed to read that one out yesterday, but I didn't get around to it. And I believe, yeah, because remember, the rumour title for this film was called Shatterhand. So, of course, Shatterhand is Blofeld's alias in You Only Live Twice novel, in which they have the Garden of Death. So, yeah, I do. I think there's going to be torture and trial scenes that Bond's going to be put through, because remember, Barbara Feminazi Broccoli, Fura Brock, she said that Bond basically was really going to get tested in this film by Rami Malek's character, who's a nasty piece of work. So I reckon we're going to get a Garden of Death. And of course, there's all this stuff about algae. Now, one of the scenes I noticed in this was how Bond, now some people may go, I'm nitpicking, but you got to look at every little frame, guys. And as a filmmaker, I do that. I look at every frame and have a look who's leading. It's Bond and Nomi, and they're in the lair. Okay, it's after they fly into the lair on that little wannabe octopusy jet. And as they're walking in, who's leading? Bond is the commander. The Mac Daddy, big schlong daddy, right? He's the Mac. He ain't leading, he's at the back. You got Nomi up front leading the way. Now tell me that's an accident. There's no way that's an accident. So, will this film be awesome? I think the film, I have been saying this all along, I reckon this film could be one of the best, if not the best, Bond film of all time. I really do. I think it could be incredible. And then some people say, oh, but will there be woke stuff? It's not a matter of if. There is going to be woke stuff. Even those little things within the frame, when you've got Nomi leading the way like that, it's kind of emasculating Bond. She's up front, she's leading. Every time we see her talk, every time we see them on camera, if you look how the camera's angled and positioned, it's around her, kind of rises up. It's about her dominating him. The camera's slightly like above, looking down. Have you flown one of these before? Angles here on Bond. Look at it when it cuts to Nomi. Nope. It's always that angle of empowerment for her. So they're things that, if you're kind of maybe not a filmmaker, you might not pick all that up. But me, I can't sit there and watch a film like normal people. Yes, I just said I'm not normal. Because I watch it from a filmmaker's perspective, because shot composition is everything. And that's why some incredible, powerful films will have so much shot composition and little dialogue, and they can tell the story just through frame, and especially some good lighting as well. So, yeah, I think the film could be incredible. This behind the scenes is fantastic. I love the visual look of the film. I think it's really, really schmicky-wicky, and it looks great there. But I'm still worried there is going to be woke stuff. And I think too many people are gushing out there and drooling over this and really kind of not looking at the little things, or prepared to look at the little things. And I'm saying this because it's very important, because we had a producer come out and say, this is Bond of the Me Too era, and don't forget we do have Phoebe Waller-Bridge writing on this thing. And it's very interesting how she's been kept very quiet at this stage of the promotional side of things. So make of that what you will, people. Guys, let me know what you think of my thoughts on this. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. But do you think I've got maybe something to go on there with how Nomi's leading the way? And do you think that maybe Goji Berries gave away a little bit there about whoever he is? Do you guys think he's Dr. No? Because I do. Guys, till next time, say hi to your mum for me, and keep on bonding. Or keep on bonding and say hi to your mum for me. Fear! And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. I will never let no woman lead over me. Never. Never, 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 never. Never. Come on, James. Let's go to the bedroom. Okay.